What's good, guys? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's talk about Impact Wrestling for June the 29th, 2023. Very solid show for Impact. Very, very good show. I thoroughly enjoyed this show. Really, really good show for 2 hours. For the most part of it. So, we kicked the show off with Chris Sabin versus Trey Miguel for the Impact X Division Championship. This was a great match, but it was interrupted by one Zachary Wentz, a.k.a. Nash Carter, in his WWE days. And I'm glad that he came and he attacked Chris Sabin. So Chris Sabin won by DQ. Trey sold it well. He looked like he was like he had seen a ghost or whatever. And they hugged, and then they proceeded to beat the shit out of Chris Sabin. But Alex Shelley ran in to make the save. So that was great. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Really good shit. I'm glad that 2/3 of the Rascals are back together. This is great. Really, really good shit here. So, Trey and Wentz, they were backstage. Trey noted that they haven't been in Impact together in 3 years. Wentz said Wentz said he would have his brother's back, and he said that he went through hell and people abandoned him and Trey. And then he said no more Treehouse and that they're all business. That they're coming for tag team gold. So that was great. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I love it. Again, really good, solid stuff here. Great way to kick the show off. I'm glad that Zachary Wentz is back in Impact. It makes perfect sense. Wesley is actually doing pretty well in WWE, in NXT to be precise and to be correct. So very good stuff there. Moving on. So Trinity versus Jay Vidal. I'm not a big fan of intergender matches, so I didn't really even watch this match. Trinity wins via the Starstruck, so that was great. Thankfully, the match was short and it didn't last long. Post-match, Savannah Evans and Giselle Shaw jumped Trinity post-match, and then Deonna Purrazzo, she came down and she made the save, and then Trinity and Deonna Purrazzo, they stare each other down. So I do like this. I'm trying to see where they're going to go with this. Somebody's going to have to turn heel. You can't have two babyfaces going into a match. You can't. You always have to have either a heel and a babyface. You can't have a heel and a babyface. So I would assume that Deonna's probably going to turn heel. If you look at it, Trinity is still more over than Deonna Purrazzo. And I still think that if we sit back and we really break this down and look at it, that Trinity more likely will go over on Deonna Purrazzo. It makes the most sense because Deonna Purrazzo's been there for about 3 years in Impact. So she's been there for basically 3 years. And she's been on top for a while. She's taken, a few steps back, but for the most part, she's been pushed hard and heavy since she got there. And now that they have somebody in Trinity who can actually get eyes on their product and everything else, and their product can be taken kind of seriously, why would you not go with Trinity? And I think that's what they'll do come Slammiversary. But I do see Deonna Purrazzo turning heel sooner rather than later. Moving on. So Moose and Brian Myers, they're backstage with the good hands. They're in a dressing room. Brian Myers said that he and Moose would win the tag title at Slammiversary. Moose agreed, but he told Myers to ditch the dead weight, and then he looked at the Good Hands before he left. And so the Good Hands started getting all defensive and everything else. And Brian Myers was like, nah, Moose is just kidding. This is just for Slammiversary. But I do agree. The Good Hands, they suck. Brian Myers sucks. So I just feel bad for Moose in this situation. I really do. You know, I've said before that Moose needs to be in WWE or AEW. He needs to get away from Impact. He seems just like he's just there just to be there. And ever since he lost the Impact World Heavyweight Championship, he hasn't been able to find his footing ever since. Like, he's just been downhill. He's just doing low mid-card shit now. Moving on. So, we see a clip of Ziggy Dice helping Johnny Swinger to get a win over Pajinder Gujar from Before the Impact, BTI. So, this leads us into Ziggy and Swinger gloated in the back about getting a win. Referee Daniel Spencer walked up and said that Santino Marella ruled that win didn't count, and he warned him to not cheat again. And if they're found cheating again, Ziggy Dice is going to be stripped of his referee license. So that was kind of funny right there. Next, my boy Lio Rush. He's an Impact. He is making his Impact Wrestling debut. So, really good stuff there. He took on Jack Price. Leo wins via the Frog Splash. So, there was that. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I'm glad that Leo is with Impact. I think he'll still do work with New Japan as well. So, there's that. So I could see them doing, crossover stuff. Because that's what most Impact talent does. Some of them work in MLW, some of them work in Impact, some of them work in NWA. Just different stuff. Because Impact is like a revolving door. Nobody ever stays there for long. It's just, just for a little while, and then they dip out to find bigger and better things. Next, one of my favorite segments of the night was my boy Dirty Dango. He was making excuses about getting caught with the Cobra. He talked about Santino being slapped in the face by Jim Cornette, which was great. Dirty Dango said the powers that be hired him so he wouldn't get sued. He said that Santino's daughter, Brianna, going by the name of Ariana Grace in NXT, was there now and creepily asked if she was getting slapped around down there. So that was great. I love that. I loved it. Heel Dango is great. Heel Dirty Dango is absolutely tremendous. Really, really fucking good shit. Dirty Dango is tremendous. He's great. And he's just doing this jokingly. Like, he doesn't mean any of this, but he is really digging his heels in with the character, and this is absolutely tremendous stuff here. I love it. I love it. This is really good stuff. So, Santino, he responds. He's very, very pissed about it. He said that he has vowed to humiliate Dirty Dango. He called him a son of a bitch, and he said he's going to make him pay for bringing up his daughter. He said the gloves are off. He's going to hurt him. So this is great. Now, with this much angst and animosity between the two, this doesn't need to be a regular one-on-one match. I would do maybe like a no DQ or a steel cage or something like that. That's kind of what I would do if I was booking it. But really good promos by both guys. Really good. Like, you can tell that Santino was generally pissed. He was genuinely pissed. And I loved it. Great stuff. Moving on. So we see footage from last week where Eddie Edwards and Frankie Kazarian, they had miscommunications when they lost to Bully Ray and Steve Macklin. So Frankie confronts Eddie and Alicia backstage. Frankie wanted an answer for what happened last week. Eddie said that Frankie had to let go of his ego and it was too large for them to be a team. And maybe they're better off as opponents. Actually, no, you're both better off being backstage producers. I'm tired of Eddie Edwards and I'm tired of Frankie Kazarian. Get them the fuck off my television. Quick, fast, in a hurry. Moving on. Masha Slamovich versus Kylan King. Very good match here. In the end, Taylor Wilde got involved and beat down on Masha for a second. And then Killer Kelly, she comes in with that sexy chain. And she fights off Taylor Wilde. And then this allows for Masha to hit the snowplow for the 1, 2, 3. Like I said, this was a solid match. Post-match was even better. So Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich, they went toe-to-toe. Kelly had the chain around her neck. And Masha wrapped the other end around her neck. And then Masha and Kelly took each other up the ramp. And I was like, oh shit, this is going to be great. This is tremendous. Killer Kelly looked mad sexy. She is mad sexy. Oh my God, that girl. Oh wee. Damn. But this makes sense. This is believable. And Masha and Killer Kelly being a tag team is best for business. And this actually would allow the division to be taken serious. You could also kind of have like a blood feud with the coven. So, yeah, really good stuff. I just hope that the tag match is not going to be on the pre-show or on the countdown show, as they call it, in Impact. What they need to do is really put this on the main card for Slammiversary, because all 4 women are that good. Like, Taylor Wilde is solid in ring. Kylan King, same thing. She was just misused in AEW. And I do think that in due time, we'll see some more people from Dark come into Impact. And then whenever WWE does their releases, whenever that will be, it'll probably be in July. Not July 1st, but probably like the middle of July. Whenever they do their releases, I expect some people to go over to Impact. I think that would be great. Moving on. Scott D'Amore, we get a video package about him. He talked about training and the veterans that helped him. All the video clips and photos were shown. Tom Dreamer talked about Sabu recommending Scott. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin talked about Scott being a good wrestler. They showed clips of people that Scott had trained. Frankie Kazarian said that Scott D'Amore invented the Canadian Destroyer. Dreamer talked about the people that Scott trained. Scott said that 15 world champs have been to his school. Alex Shelley talked about the people that Scott has helped along the way. Kushida, he said some stuff with subtitles, but we couldn't see them because they were not visible for whatever reason. I have no idea why. He talked about Scott and how he took care of him. Frankie said that he treasures Scott's friendship, and Scott said he wasn't the best wrestler, but he wouldn't change a minute of it. So this went on for about a good 3 minutes. So pretty okay little video package and stuff like that. Although we didn't need this. This could have been saved for the pay-per-view. That's what I would have done. Or the go-home show. Gia Miller, she's backstage. She interviewed Scott. He said that he had been training with the Guns. Gia said that Darren McCarty would be the special guest referee for the match at Slammiversary. Scott said he didn't plan on following rules. The Good Hands approached him. John Schuyler said they had a run of their bad luck, which started when Scott gave Jason Hodge the Canadian Destroyer. Hodge said that Scott deserved the receipt. Scott said he was only doing one match, but PCO was available. He said that he would talk to Santino to make the match of the Good Hands versus PCO official for next week. Scott then left, and in the Good Hands, they were worried. So this is okay here. The Good Hands, like I say, you can light them on fire and throw them into the sun. They suck. Seriously. They're not good. Moving on, so Joe Hendry, he was shown in the production truck talking to Josh Matthews. This leads us into our next match, Yuya Uemura versus Kenny King with Sheldon Jean. Kenny King wins via the Royal Flush. Post-match, Joe Hendry came out and he said he had a new music video. Joe Hendry was in a music studio. He talked about Kenny King's career, and he's saying he's saying that the most success Kenny King had was when he became a male stripper. So the fans cheered and they called him Stripper Kenny. Because that was true. He was a legit stripper. Kenny King was doing that before he got into pro wrestling. So get it how you can, I guess. So it is what it is. And then the final segment. So it was a promo segment between Nick Aldis and Alex Shelley. So Nick Aldis, he gets on the mic, and he said that people have been asking him about his actions when he hit Alex Shelley with the title belt. He asked the fans to show him respect. He asked for Alex Shelley to come out. Shelley said he didn't want to hear it and threatened to hit Aldis. Aldis called it an unsafe working environment. Nick Aldis said that Alex Shelley was a man of the people, and he offered him to sit with the fans. Shelley told him to shut up, and he agreed to it. Shelley said that it would be an honor to sit with the Impact fans. So then he goes and takes a front seat. He takes a seat in the front row. Moving on with the promo, Nick Aldis said that Alex Shelley is beginning to believe his own hype. And then Aldis brings up the 10-man tag match. He said that Sabin almost cost him the match. Then he was ready for the tag. He said that Shelley tried to tag in and be the hero. He said that Shelley and Sabin were trying to minimize him. He said it was time to put Shelley in his place. He then called Alex Shelley a fake revolutionary who was trying to get rid of people like him. He called the fans mouth breathers, just like The Miz did on Monday, which was great. He told Shelley not to get mad because he became a world champion before him. He said that he was endorsed by Harley Race and Ric Flair. And he said that he was here to stop Alex Shelley. He told the fans to shut up, and they booed. He vowed to beat Shelley at Slammiversary, and then that he would humiliate Shelley. Alex Shelley stands up, gets on the mic, and tells Aldis to shut up. And then Shelley challenged Aldis to come to the ring and shut him up. Aldis then takes off his jacket. They brawled for a second. And then Aldis threw Alex Shelley into the ring post and then back into the ring. Chris Sabin runs out to make the save. And then Lio Rush comes down to beat up Chris Sabin. And then both Nick Aldis and Lio Rush attack the machine guns. And then Aldis, he decks Shelley with the belt. And then Lio decked Chris Sabin with the X Division belt. And then they celebrated, holding the belts up in the air. And then they threw them on the guns. And then that was the end of Impact. So really good stuff there. I do think that what they'll do is they'll probably end up making this into a feud between the two. So I expect for Axstv to retain, maybe via roll-up, and then throughout the fall, they feud, and then maybe Nick Aldis wins at Bound for Glory, which would make sense. So we know that Alex Shelley is going to be a transitional champion, but they'll probably let him keep it for at least 3 months. So they'll let him keep it up until October. So that would be fine, and that is an actual transitional champion. Chris Sabin, he probably will end up losing to Lio Rush, probably at Slammiversary. So they'll probably end up doing that. But all in all, Impact was decent. We got to see Zachary Wentz returning. Lio Rush made his Impact Wrestling debut, which was great. We got a really decent close to the show with the main event segment with the Machine Guns and Lio Rush and Nick Aldis. That was great. Masha, Slamovich, and Killer Kelly coming together as a team. That was great. But what did you guys think? Let me know. Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to my videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.